Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again. Here to bring you another video. This video is going to be doing my weekly review for The Walking Dead. This one will be for The Walking Dead Season 3, Episode 14, which is called Prey. As always, my reviews do contain spoilers, so anyone who has not seen the episode yet and is worried about me ruining it for you, you may or may not want to watch my review. That being said, I thought this was one of the most exciting episodes we've seen The Walking Dead for a while. I would say definitely very thrilling, this one felt like a thriller, like when you're watching a movie and you see like The Shining or something like that where you have, a feminine, female character who's being chased by, somebody who's either, lost their mind or whatever, what have you, horror movie type of feel where you have a character running away, and just having someone chase after them. I really like the way they did that. And it's funny that it happens to be Andrea again, because I would say up until this point, the most thrilling, in terms of thrilling, episode we've had of The Walking Dead was probably Season 2, Episode 1, What Lies Ahead, where you have Andrea again inside the RV, hiding, Dale giving her the screwdriver, and her, finally coming out of her shell and starting to, just become more of a badass, defend herself, use that screwdriver to kill the RV zombie. If you guys remember that way back when. And that was really a thrilling scene because you had all the silence, the walker herd come through, and them just try to, kind of hide and survive. Very exciting. This one was a lot like that. Yet again, Andrea being the one, who's kind of in the most danger. And the ending, man, the ending was really, wow, really good. Okay, just so I don't get into too much, let's go step by step through the episode. So the beginning of the episode starts, of course, and we see a flashback. Now, at the beginning, I was like, is this a flashback? Is this not a flashback? But then when you see Michonne's pet walkers, you know right away this is a flashback, which I like. You guys know, if you've been watching my reviews for a while, I like it when they do flashbacks in The Walking Dead. I like the Season 1, flashbacks with Shane at the hospital saving Rick and pushing the hospital bed in the way of the door. I like all the different flashbacks. I think that they're really good. This one was good too because it really kind of shows how this season, is really a lot about Andrea, where her character's at, what's happened to her, as being at the end of Season 2, she's, taken away from the group in a different direction. She's abandoned, so to speak, and running into Michonne and then being on her own all this time, joining Woodbury, and then us getting to see that come full circle in this episode, kind of giving her an episode. If you guys didn't realize either, too, almost, the only character from Rick's group that was in this episode was Rick in a really quick sequence at the end. Nobody else from Rick's group was in there at the prison. It was all Woodbury and Andrea and the governor. And I loved it. I thought it was really, really exciting. It just goes to prove yet again, you don't necessarily have to have Rick Grimes in there to make the story really interesting. You could do it even without him. It is possible. It's doable. So, going on from the flashback, that was just a cool, quick little thing. Then they start up the episode. After that, you have the governor, and we find out about his torture room, which we kind of saw in the preview for this week. Very exciting, and you do get that kind of feeling, especially at the beginning of the sequence where he's got the governor's got the the handcuffs, and he's got the chains to hold the handcuffs, and he's kind of pulling on him, and like he's like playing with them, kind of, and the tempo's like really like the music, the score is really heavy, and he's like pulling on them and stuff, making sure they're working and all that, and he just looks like he's like, just like in La La Land, my torture room is complete, Oh man, it was so like just twisted and just dark, really, really dark. Some of the most dark stuff we see in The Walking Dead. And I do like the evolution of his character through, the series as well. Because when we first meet the governor, he's not that bad. Like, he's bad to people outside of his group, yes. But he, torturing is like a level beyond when you just kill somebody. Torturing is worse than death. There are worse things out there than death, and torture is definitely one of them. People that are tortured enough will pray for death. And that room just, oh man, looks really, really scary. Milton, also like him as a character at this point, and the decisions that he's made, sort of siding with Andrea, not really keeping tabs on her like the governor wanted him to, and just kind of, going against arguing with Philip, doing all these things. I like his character a lot too, and he is right too that he can't really go with Andrea. He can't hack it. He can't make it out there in the world. He kind of has to do what he has to do. But he has done something, which we got to see later on. At least we think it's him. It probably would be. However, I was thinking while I was watching it, the person who gassed the walkers, it could have been Merle, because Merle does know the location and he knows the tactics, right? So it could have been someone from their group. But the end of the episode alludes to it being Milton, which it does seem like it is Milton. Plus, I don't think who's got that truck. Who owns that truck? Is that a Woodbury vehicle? I mean, I don't know if we've seen it before. I don't know if anybody can make that connection, but I don't think they have trucks like that at the prison. Maybe they do. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. Maybe they do, because Glenn was driving a truck, but wasn't that like a silver truck? Something like that, silver grayish type thing. So probably was Milton. I thought that was pretty exciting too and interesting. I also very heavily enjoyed Tyreese in this episode. Finally got some interesting dialogue and some interesting scenes. Him being the one on the wall to allow Andrea out, and kind of just to be like, well, what am I supposed to do? And it's true. What is he going to do? You going to shoot her? I mean, no, you're not going to shoot her. You can't do that. And she's got a knife. You're probably not going to be able to stop her. Plus, if he got into a tussle with her or something with a gun and hit her with it or something, she's going to fall off and hurt herself really badly. So you kind of have to let her go. Plus, like you said, this is not a prison. Well, at least it is, but it's not supposed. From his point of view, it's not like a prison camp where people can't leave. People are free to leave if they want to. From his perspective, he's learning a little bit more about that now and about the things they do. But I really liked all the different lines with him. His interaction with Alan was really good. Their little fight, everything like that. I thought that was pretty great. Also, too, I like the takedown. Because if you think about it, in the comics series, Tyrese is an ex-football player, and he's big, too. Which would make sense. So if he starts going with a guy, he's probably going to take him down. That's how it is. Which is effective, wrestling. Fighting style, very effective. So I like that. I like the way they're kind of talking about Donna and what happened with her, and give us a little bit of background that, Tyreese did save Donna. And then later on, actually, Alan was kind of the one that didn't really, we don't know exactly what happened, but it seems something like that. So they have tension between them, which I liked as well, because now their group is not really like a cohesive 4-person group. It's really like 2 little splinter groups of 2 people in each, a pair, I also like how he stood up to Martinez and was like, oh, this is sick, Really good stuff. Really liked that from him as a character. Thought that was great. Really enjoyed it, and really excited to see what happens with him in the future. So maybe he will join Rick's group after all. I mean, based on what he's seen from Woodbury and that he's starting to kind of learn about what's going on, he's probably, if he finds out about that torture room, I guarantee you he's going to be out of there as soon as possible. Guaranteed. Just like Andrea. Also liked how, Andrea pulls up the gun on the governor. You think she's going to do it, then Milton won't let her. Also in his character, he knows the governor's evil, but at the same time, he doesn't want to see him. He does care about him. Even though he knows he's gone off the deep end, he does care about him. He knows about his daughter. So, having a bond like that, a person would feel more understanding, or they wouldn't feel the same way about somebody if they, kind of go over to that other side, become crazy or do insane things. When you share a bond with somebody, you tend to see them in a positive light, even when they're, going down this path, and make excuses for them and stuff, because you do care about them and have that bond. So that works, makes sense. Plus, that would be a gay death for the governor. He's got to get like a war death. Like when they go to war, he's got to, the end of the season, man, I think it's going to happen. I don't think the governor is going to see season 4. I don't think he will. So, yeah, okay, so let's see, what else? So, that covers Tyreese. Nothing with Rick's group, really, except for the end scene, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And, okay, so the governor's mad at Milton. Andrea gets away for the most part. Really exciting, her being chased. Now, at first I was thinking there's no way he's going to catch her. But, if he's really smart based on time, and he knows the area really well, that's not true. I mean, because if you think about it, if he's been there in that area for like a year or 2, based on time and on how far someone could be running in a certain amount of time, he could probably tell within about, I don't know, a kilometer, a mile, if you're in the States, half a mile, whereabouts she would be. You know what I mean? Like somewhere abouts, based on how fast she's running, the fact that she's going to get tired after a little while, how far she would be able to go, how far she would get. You could just kind of eyeball it. When you live in an area like that, you'll know, approximately where someone would be. Especially him, because he's grown the Woodbury community and planned everything out, so he knows the surrounding area exact. Like, they've got their red zone, all mapped out. He knows everything. He knows the way to get to the prison, how to get there, and he knows approximately where she would be. So yeah, so I would think that he probably would actually be able to track her down. Even though he's only got the one eye, so his vision's not the best. But like I said, he would know the terrain very well, so he'd kind of know approximately where she would be and would probably catch her. Exciting scenes with her running, because you got to think, she's running, she's trying to get away from them, and at the same time there's the danger of the walkers, which are kind of being passed off to the side as if they're nothing in this situation, because she's trying to get away from them. So that puts her in a much more vulnerable position. The walker at the tree with the arm around her, that was really exciting. The way she killed them, badass, like that a lot. Of course, then getting away in the field, the governor spots her, or is driving in that direction, and then she has no choice but to run. Really exciting when she gets into the building, and that whole part was really thrilling, especially the part where she was down behind this, like a cabinet or something like that, and he's like right here, and he's like looking around and using the shovel along the grate, or the cage type thing. Just something you'd expect to see in a really scary thriller type, horror movie. Seen it lots of times before in lots of horror movies in the 80s and 90s. It's a tactic that's been used, and it's effective. Really, really exciting. My favorite part of the whole scene would have to be at the end, where it's like she gets stuck between the walkers and Philip, and it's like, oh man, what is she going to do? You're kind of questioning, what's she going to do now? Is she going to go back with Philip and give it up, or what's the situation? Brilliant that I didn't even think about this. She opens the door, and then she closes it on herself. So she opens the door, goes behind it, closes it, and then the walkers are stupid, obviously, so they don't know she's behind the door. They come out, they see the governor, and they go after him. Very brilliant, and then she closes and watches from the crack in the glass. Really exciting. We all knew the governor was going to get away, of course, but it was a nice distraction to get her on her way. And then, of course, the ending, the finale of the episode, of the climax, so to speak, the most exciting part. I thought this was great. She sees the prison, she's all like lit up in the face and everything. She's there, and then at the last minute, boom, he grabs her. Now, here was the brilliant part. The person on watch is Rick, okay? And then, of course, Rick looks out, and he thinks to himself, oh man, is there somebody out there? Oh no, it's just me seeing things again. That is brilliant, man. That was just brilliant writing, brilliant planning, and because there was foreshadowing to it beforehand. Like Michonne, just in the episode Clear, she says to Rick, I know that you see things, and then again after he says, yeah, you better drive, I see things, and all this kind of stuff. And we know all along he's been on watch and seeing shit and all this stuff. So it's perfect the way it all came together like a puzzle. Just really, really well thought out, really, really well written, just brilliant stuff. Because it's like, yeah, Rick would not really think something's up. He just think he's seeing shit again. Just Lori or Shane or something. Just brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. And then going on from there, the governor returns, and where's Andrea? I was thinking to myself at that moment, did he kill her? Oh, man, he must have killed her. Wow, that would be crazy death. But nope, even better than that, he's locked her inside the torture chamber. Oh, my goodness. That was so exciting, dude. It was dark, though. It was really, really dark. Like, I was like, oh, man, that's dark. That's even too dark for my liking, I think. I'm uncomfortable about I don't know how I feel about that. That's just an uncomfortable, eerie type feeling I got seeing that, where she's like, all, tied up there, and he's got the thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, what an exciting episode. So A lot of you guys know if you watch my reviews, I didn't really like last week's episode too much. I didn't. I thought it was okay, but I didn't love it. This week's episode, I loved it, man. One of the most thrilling episodes we've ever had in Walking Dead, if not the most, aside from what lies ahead, probably. Those two, I put them, side by side, so to speak, in terms of how thrilling they were, and just very exciting, very thrilling. And you got to feel for Andrea at this point, man. She's trying to do her damn thing. She's trying to get there to tell the characters at the prison, or Rick and everybody at the prison, to get the hell out of there. And oh man, oh man. So what do you think's going to happen next? Okay, I think that Milton's going to stumble upon Andrea. I think he will. I think he'll stumble upon her there. He'll see her there, and then that will be it. He will free her. He will snap. Something's going to happen. So, very exciting. The walkers get burned, and the governor returns to Woodbury. And we got 2 episodes left, man. 2 episodes left. So, in terms of the score, I'm going to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. It's just about close to perfect. Maybe a few little things here, but I would say it's basically perfect. But then there's episodes like Home and Clear that just go over and above, what you think. So I would say those would be perfect. This one's damn near close, man. One of my favorite episodes of the season as well. Very exciting, very interesting. Can't wait to see what happens with Andrea. Man, she's in a world of her. Because if you think about it too, when the whole battle goes down, the war goes down between the two groups, she's going to be in there. If Milton doesn't free her, how's she going to get or the governor doesn't free her, how's she going to get out? Rick and his group, are they going to be able to beat the governor? I don't think so. So I would tend to think that it's got to be Milton that does it. Anyway, that's pretty much it for my review. Love the episode, very thrilling, very exciting, and of course, my video predictions for next week's episode should be up tomorrow or the next day, within the next 2 days, roughly. And 2 more episodes left. Wow, the season went by really fast, and I really loved it. But definitely, this episode did not let us down, and I hope the next 2, I'm sure they will be just as exciting, if not more, probably even more. But definitely can't wait to see the whole Governor story arc finish up. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.